Welcome to Learning Unpacked Applied. Today we shall be talking about linkages. Linkages are very, very important. The element in the lesson plan must be linked. When you talk about linkages, we are talking on one element adding value, one element building upon another. So the learning area, the strands and the substrands are always derived from the design, and then the learning outcome are always derived from the design. So when you're designing the essence statement, it has to be linked to the student's learning outcome. That build-up of the essence statement to the learning outcome is also enhanced by the key inquiry question, which is built on the essence statement, meaning that the essence statement leads to a key inquiry question, which sets a scene for the learning experiences that are going to be in a way that they answer the key inquiry question. So the learning experiences are set to answer the key inquiry question, and the key inquiry question is set to respond to the essence statement, and they all bring out the learning outcome of that particular lesson. So there must be a thread which is cutting across, and this also informs the choice of the core skills, the core competency. Which core competency are you going to be enhancing when you take your learners through the chosen learning experiences? So there have to be a linkages on that core competency and the learning experience. So that is the deepening part, and the connection has to run through one building on the other, so that when you are selecting a value, you are selecting a value which is being brought out by the deepening. You select a pertinent contemporary issue which is being brought out by the deepening experience. So the whole deepening experience, you look at what will you be enhancing in terms of values and in terms of pertinent and contemporary issues. So that linkages between deepening and enhancement is very, very clear. But then the linkages also has to come into the extension. If we are to extend this learning, we have deepened the learning experience conceptually. We have enhanced the learning experience. And now, how do we extend the learning experience? So that linkage has to happen. Therefore, you explore while the learners are going through. Is there something which they can do to the community? Or is there somewhere where they can continue learning the concept in the community, or they can go to apply? So it has to be linked. The kind of activity in community service learning has to be linked with the deepening and the enhancement. And the same has to happen with non-formal. Because there's something, a concept, an activity, which they have learned in the deepening and enhancement, which can be extended, as well as making linkages to other areas in learning. So that linkage has to be very, very clear. Your learning so that you realize knowledge deepening, you realize enhancement, and you realize extension. So the learning organization is very critical, as well as the learning resources. Which learning resources will you use to ensure that all this is being enabled? So the learning organization and the learning resources have to be linked to facilitate the deepening, enhancement, and extension. To bring it up all, competency-based curriculum is influenced by assessment, and is assessment that facilitates all the elements, and therefore the assessment method has to be linked, because it is the assessment method which allows the teacher to know where the learners are in terms of the learning outcome, to make them get the concept, and also to find out if they have learned the concept. So the three areas of assessment as learning when the children enter, assessment for learning when they are given activity, and assessment of learning after they have finished the activity, has to be linked with the learning outcome. That linkages has to go all across, and there should be a rubric. So this assessment rubric is the one which guides the learners and the teacher on the expectation, so that they realize the students' learning outcome. So linkages is very, very critical, and it is a thread which cuts across all the aspects of the scheme of work. And you can metaphorically think of it as a cake. A cake has several ingredients, but it is how you mix the ingredients that you'll realize a cake. And therefore, the deepening and the enhancement and the extension, which have been supported by the organization and the resources and the assessment, has to all be put in the right portions. One has to build in the other, and there must be a linkage across all of them. The success of a lesson plan depends on how well the parts are linked together. The deepening parts, the enhancement parts, and the extension paths.